level. I like this. Hey, I forgot you're there. It's Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com doing some unboxings. And this is a really cool item, which today's video is going to do an unboxing, and I'm going to use this when I do basically a speaker woofer test with an amplifier. Because this item from DS18, We Like It Loud.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
Is the BKVTR. It's basically a universal volume or bass knob that will do temp and voltage on any amplifier, which means we're going to figure out how would you keep track of your temperature on the amplifier if it's not a DS18 amp. We're going to go over that.
Yes. Yes. Do that.
Hit that like button, leave a comment. You can always leave one in the future. And if you're watching this on the YouTuber and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. Helps us out. And if you're viewing in on a different social media, you can always follow and like. So this right here, it's 60 bucks.
How much?
How much?
60 bucks, which you say, well, that's kind of expensive for a bass knob, but it's not just a bass knob or a volume knob.
It's a lot more.
I want to say bass because it'll work with any amplifier. This also does voltage up to 15.9 and it'll do temperature.
Interesting.
Input sensitivity on the RCA, it says 0.1 to 16 volts. Input impedance is only 20K, and this will do up to output voltage 0.1 to 16 volts. So basically what they're saying is if you're using like a line driver too, it'll pass through up to 16 volts through the RCA.
Now that's cool.
So it's a really small box. It is $59.95. They say compatible with most, but it's pretty much compatible with anything in an RCA. So let's open this up so you can see what it is, because I think people probably don't even know much about it. Otherwise they'd be buying more of it. First thing we got is, which this is cool, switch on the side for Celsius and Fahrenheit. It is plastic, but it is mountable. I'll do some close-ups here in a minute.
Time for your close-up.
There is a off and on. Okay, so what I'm guessing that would be is there is a remote in and out. So you could technically use this to turn everything on like that. That's kind of cool. And then you have RCA left and right, in and out. And then it looks like you have power and ground. I'm digging this. Let's open this bag up. All right, so it looks like you have some mounting screws, and then I'm gonna guess this is the antenna. Not the antenna, I'm sorry. This actually has the thermometer in it. So it looks like this would screw on or stick down. I get it. Okay, so you could stick this down on the amp or screw it down to the amp, and this piece is gonna come all the way back up to the bass knob, and there is a little plug-in. So that would give you temperature. So having that on an amplifier will take the temperature of the amplifier wherever you have it mounted. So that's kind of cool. And then power and ground going through here will give you voltage, right? And then RCA in, RCA out would be for the volume. But the cool thing, and there's a button here, so you can go from voltage to temperature, because it doesn't display both. But there is a power light. So technically, any amplifier out there, you could run the RCAs through, and now you have a volume control. And by running this to any amplifier and mounting it somewhere on it or near it, will read temperature. And then also voltage through here, up to 16 volts.
That's great.
Let me just see if there's anything else I missed. No, pretty simple. I mean, there's directions, it's small. So technically you could do multiples if you wanted to have them on your dash, where you could have each amplifier. So basically what they're saying is like you take your head unit out into this, out from here to the amplifier with the RCA, run the temperature gauge, mount that at the amplifier. So now you'd be able to do the temp, voltage, and everything. So you know, you guys like those fancy big bass knobs that come on the more expensive amps. And if you don't have that, you can do that with 60 bucks.
You only needed a 60.
From DS18. So this is the BKVTR. I'm digging this. I really do, because I think you take a inexpensive amplifier system, say in the trunk, and you're trying to make sure you track how hot it's getting, run this back, and there you go. So I'm just gonna walk straight over here. We're not even gonna stop the video. Probably just threw Ben off on that one. And I'm just gonna power this up real quick. Just grab me some alligators. There we go. Okay. Because I'm just gonna do a simple power and ground first. Just to light this thing up. So on here you have remote in, remote out. So we're not going to use that right now, but we know what that does. So this also kind of gives you a relay to turn on multiple things. Now you might need to hook the remote in though. So we're going to find out real quick. So let's just do power, ground. Nope, came on.
It worked!
So right now it's showing 15.7, which is right about where it is. It's reading voltage. So you have off and on, but that doesn't shut this off. The remote will. So you still need the remote from the head unit. Okay, and then here, if I hit that switch, it's showing me 24 Celsius. If I flip the switch, that's actually pretty accurate, because we're in here in the AC, and right now this is not connected to anything. It's showing 75 degrees. That's cool. So this piece here would get mounted on the amp somewhere. And as that heats up, so will the temperature. See, right now I'm holding it, so it went up to 82, because it's getting the heat from my fingers.
It's getting hot in here.
So this thing's pretty damn accurate. 86, there you go. And if I push on this button here, it goes back to voltage. So then you have the volume knob too with the RCA in and out. It's pretty bright. I like this. 60 bucks, you take a cheap amp and turn it into something cool. So what we're gonna do is show how this works, and we're gonna mix up the videos because I'm gonna do some flex testing. I normally use a Big Jeff bass knob. We're gonna run it through here. So what do we got going on to do our flex test? Well, we have the SMD here to emit us a tone, and I'm using this because we're also doing a video for this DS18 universal bass knob with temp and voltage. So you can see when I turn it on, it's showing the voltage right now, 15.6, and that's a volume control. And then if I click that button, it shows it's 72 degrees because there's a piece right here that gets mounted on your subwoofer to check temperature. So this is a really cool piece, and we have them. They're $59.95. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm using my trusty Martz Digital 5K, which I use on everything. It's a full range amp. We have this wire up. This is a Riot 10 dual 4, so it's a 2 ohm load. We're still gonna send a ton of power at 15 volts. I got it mounted down. When I just did a little test run, I got this thing jumping that the whole cart moved. So this thing's got some excursion. So let's get a couple things going first. I'm gonna turn on my SMD. This is the IM-SG Plus. You could actually use this to find out what your FS is, but I'm gonna use this just to emit a tone, and I'm gonna start small. I'm gonna start at 20 Hertz, get this turned on. Okay, so right away you can see this thing jumping. Okay, so that's 20 Hertz. And now I'm giving it some power. Look at that thing. Okay, this is a 750 watt RMS speaker. Okay, I'm gonna let it break in a little bit, let it heat up. This right here is showing my voltage, and I have a bass knob here, which works really good. This is universal. So this also has a remote in and a remote out, so you can use this to turn everything on. And then you have RCA ins and outs. And then you have a temperature, which gets stuck on or screwed onto whatever to track temperature. So that's really cool. Big shout out DS18. We have these, it's a great item. Listen guys, thank you so much. Remember, share this out, follow, subscribe, do the works. We'll be doing it to the end of time. I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com. I'll see you on the next one.